everybody, welcome back to my channel, Utterly Jordan. My name is Jordan, and today's video is going to be about my fitness journey so far. It's going to be a background story, so it's going to be like mostly story time type video, and then at the end of the video I will include footage of what I look like now. But for the most part, this is just going to be background info on where I've come from so far, what it took me, the process, of getting to where I am now today. And the point of it is I hope that it inspires people to know that no matter what the struggle is, you can do it. You can make changes in your life no matter what you're going through. And I just hope that sharing my story can help people, maybe, even if it's just people who have gone through what I've gone through, maybe not even everybody, but even just some people. And so to avoid rambling, I wrote it down in like story format, so I'm just going to read from there. And yeah, let's start. So, growing up, I never had issues with being overweight. If anything, my family would always tease me for being skinny. Like, you're so skinny, you can hula hoop in a Cheerio, things like that. But I had always had a healthy weight. In my senior year of high school, which is when I'd say I stopped growing, I was about 135 pounds and I'm 5'6". But when I turned 19, I had my first son, and this is where I started gaining weight. Having my first son not only added physical weight to my body, but also a lot of emotional weight in the form of stress. He was born with a cleft palate, which would require surgery, but not until he was 1 year old. And in the meantime, he would have to be tube fed, which was unimaginably hard for everyone involved. It was traumatizing for him and typical for us and constantly stressful. To add to this, I wasn't even able to stay home with him for very long, and my hopes of breastfeeding him were quickly crushed as he couldn't even eat from a bottle. So I quickly gave up on pumping because once I went back to work, it only added to my stress, which was already insane. All of this caused me to develop really bad depression and life-changing anxiety for the next several years. At this point, the weight was the least of my concerns, and as a result, I stayed heavy for years. I don't think I really lost any weight at all between having my first son and getting pregnant with my second son. To give you a time perspective with my second son, I had my first son in 2012 and then my second son in 2014. So for 2 years, I dealt with all the stress and kept all the weight on, and then got pregnant again. Now, once I had my second son in 2014, I did actually lose about 20 pounds within a year or two, but then I plateaued and stayed around 150 for another 2 years almost, which is bringing us closer to now. So as I said in the beginning, I developed depression and anxiety. It was to the point where it affected my entire life, everything. I seriously felt like I was losing my mind. The depression and anxiety got so bad at one point. I was having horrible invasive thoughts that would just torment me every waking moment. And then I'd have nightmares even as I'd sleep. There was no escaping the constant fear and sadness that I was feeling. As a result, this affected my ability just to function and started directly affecting my will to take care of myself at all. This is where I was reaching my breaking point. I was getting so desperate. I just wanted to at least be able to function. Was that too much to ask? Didn't even know what it felt like to be normal anymore, whatever that was supposed to mean. I felt so lost. I was treating my body like a garbage can at this point. I literally thought of my body as a garbage can in the sense that all I needed to do to take care of it was to just fill it up. It didn't matter what I put in it, I just needed to fill it up, get full, right? But despite my efforts to take care of myself, it wasn't working. I would get full and then quickly crash and feel starving and terrible. This only added to my anxiety, and started to develop an eating disorder too because of it. Because I didn't understand what was wrong, what was going on. Why wasn't I feeling better? I was eating, wasn't that good enough? Well, what I was eating was the problem. I was eating almost purely carbs, so much rice, almost no veggies and very little protein. I literally just did not know better. I eventually realized this when I found myself hitting the same wall over and over again, which was seeing that just getting full wasn't fixing the problem. Luckily for me, I was able to work with a nutritionist. So I finally reached out and asked to work with a nutritionist where I live. I just wanted to learn, wanted to see what other options were out there that I could try, because anything had to be better than what I was doing. I was very desperate. I worked with the nutritionist for several months. I learned about macros and balanced eating and immediately realized my huge mistake. I wasn't eating balanced. I needed to focus on not just eating and getting full, but eating in a way that recognizes my body isn't a garbage can and actually needs different things and in a proper ratio to function well. At the time, I was not even thinking about calories at all. This whole food has macros and needs to be balanced was completely new and foreign to me, and it was all I could take in at the time. I also started trying to work out at the gym as well. I was working with a trainer and was trying my hand at weight training, but I didn't really see any weight loss really. I would discover this was because of calories, not just macros. But despite the fact that I wasn't making a lot of progress weight-wise, it felt really good to finally understand how to better take care of my body. It was like a door was revealed to me that I didn't even know existed. Like I had been stuck in the side of a room with no doors, trapped. But learning about macros showed me that there was a door, and now I could get out. It was a stepping stone for me. At the same time, I made a lot of personal growth and was working through the depression and anxiety and became a completely different person. As a result, though, my relationship with my kid's dad crumbled and I ended up separating from him and getting a divorce. So here I was thinking my life was turning around for the better and only going to get better, even though I was going through what most people would consider to be tragic change, getting a divorce. That things would have continued to go well for me, but unfortunately I was very naive and I jumped straight into another serious relationship, and that turned out to be abusive. Abusive physically and abusive mentally. It was a cruel turn of events. I thought I was coming out stronger and getting better no matter what. Then it was like my world completely changed. I had never experienced anything like that before. Against all odds though, I still persevered. Going through that abuse gave me another reality check to get my life together. And although I wouldn't exactly hope to experience anything like that, nor wish it upon anyone else, I am grateful for how it shaped me, made me stronger, and helped me to see exactly how strong I really am. After leaving that relationship, I decided to buckle back down and really commit to changing my life, which included not just my mind, but my body too. And so, I wish I could say that I learned everything I needed to at once in the realization of one moment, like how it was when I learned about macros. But this next change felt more natural. I don't remember exactly what it specifically was. It was more like a series of events and choices that blended nicely together. All I know is that I ended up deciding to break out my Fitbit and start going to the gym again and working on my diet more. When I did this, I somehow ended up learning about not only macros, which I knew about already, but calories. This is where things would change for me. Combining macros and calories together, along with prioritizing exercise, is what helped me really make change. I decided on setting my daily calorie intake to 1,290 calories and haven't changed it since. I've been tracking my calories since June, and since then I've lost 12 pounds and counting. And in the beginning, which was June, I was working out about 5 times a week, then I slowed it down to 3 to 4 times a week. And now I'm down to maybe 2 times a week where I purposely go work out. I say this to help you know and understand that you do not have to religiously exercise or live in the gym or be a cardio bunny or even a serious weightlifter in order to lose weight and change your life. it really is as simple as your diet. What it really comes down to is discipline and consistency. Looking onward to the future, I am carrying big hopes and dreams for myself that I will never stop trying for. Thank you for taking the time to listen to my story. I hope it's helped you, and thank you again for taking the time to watch this. Now, here's the part that you've all been waiting for. What do I look like now? Well, here you go. I'm going to insert video clip of footage of what I look like now. So, here is my arms. As you can see, there is pretty decent muscle tone, but I'm still working on slimming those down. And then here is the little bit of fat I have left on my stomach, but it has leaned out considerably. There's me flexing. And you can see from the shadows, there is a cutout I'm working on, but there's still a little bit of fat there. And then there's my side flex. You can see my back muscles and stomach muscles coming together as I lean out and letting it out, flexing. Here's my back, my shoulders again. You can see my arm muscles, still building those up. And shoulders, some more. And my back muscles along my spine. And then you can see my shoulders from a different perspective. And from here on out, I will continue to make fitness updates, and I promise they won't be as long as this one. The ones going forward will be short and sweet updates. Thanks for joining me today. See you at the next video.